An opportunity for young Adam Gawlas. Like I said, that a fantastic performance in his debut on the European Tour against Ross Smith yesterday. But this is invaluable experience, because if he can get in front against Mensur at such a young age, he'll experience a bit of hostility from a crowd, and it's just going to be invaluable going forward. But what a rise for the gentleman in just 6 months.
How long did it take you, Webby, from picking up a dart for the first time to realise I'm actually pretty good at this?
Longer than 6 months. I don't know. You sort of, I did it in stages where it was different back then. You sort of, right, I'll play at my local league, I'll play a few opens, then I'll go to some ranking opens, and you just take it from there. But this gentleman's just thrown himself straight in the deep end, and he's reaping the rewards. He's, like I said, he's had that dabble with the development tour, got to a semi-final, winning on a big stage. And
79.
That's how the European Tour's valuable now. I think it's when players qualify for TV majors, they've basically got the experience of playing on the Euro Tour, which is a similar setup, and players are going into big tournaments now, not phased by the big Ali Pali stage, the Blackpool stage, and it's down to gaining experience in these Euro Tours.
What was your first experience of playing in front of a big crowd, and potentially one where you noticed the noise and the occasion, and it was something that you hadn't dealt with before? Can you remember what that felt like?
Yeah, it's like, obviously I played in the Lakeside, but it's more of a subdued atmosphere there. I got invited as a guest player to play in the Premier League once against Yellow Class in Cardiff, and there was a massive eruption because I was a home player. Didn't deal with it too well, but for experience-wise, it held me in good stead. But yeah, it's just completely different playing in front of the big crowds, and it's going to be interesting how Adam deals with it tonight. But he said he wants to win, but he'll enjoy the occasion. This is invaluable experience, like we said, for such a young player.
Yeah, he's rather unfortunate there, Gawlas. He's had 2 darts not register points because he's clipped the flight of previous darts. And so he is left on a bogey number 162, but it's not through any mathematical error. It's just he was unfortunate the dart didn't stick in the board.
53.
Mensur's not really punished him, and he's still in this leg, Gawlas. Mensur may only get 1 dart for the leg when he returns, although it wouldn't surprise you if he left himself double 14 from here.
42.
Double 20 for double 4 is an option, and then if it's a single, he may hit another single 20 to leave that double 14.
2 darts or double 4 for the opening leg.
60.
Chance, Adam Gawlas.
On 120.
Shanghai on the 20s for the opening leg, and a break. It's a good marker. Very unlucky with that second dart.
60.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate.
Not
a bad effort, but Mensur, if you keep on giving him darts at double, he will punish you. There's no getting around that. The strength of Mensur's game has always been the finishing. And the finishing under pressure in particular. Listen to the noise as the Austrian number 1 gets off the mark.
Echo you there, Dan. That is what he's good at. He never let an opportunity really slip by. If you afford him opportunities at doubles, he will hit them.
He isn't a player who's been involved in the World Series action over August. He's been playing a bit of soft tip stuff. Travelled out to Slovenia with a couple of players like Dimitri Vandenberg playing in some tournaments over there. But what is it like, Webby, this August break? If you're not involved in that World Series stuff, we've seen already this weekend some players seem to have come back pretty rusty. I think Chris Dobie was admitted as much. He said, look, the time off has not helped me. He didn't look 85. Like the same player that we saw earlier on in the year when he was threatening to win titles.
Yeah, you know, some players, you need a break at times, but I like what you said there about Mensur going off to a soft tip event, not worrying about the PDC rankings for once. Probably just had a laugh at us, not to try and win, but just keep yourself ticking over, enjoy yourself at the same time. I know, I've shared a room with Chris this weekend, and he said he felt rusty, he felt like the time off hadn't done him any favours, and he hadn't really dropped into many local events, so yeah, it's just getting back into the swing of things now, because this is the business end of the year. The tournaments come thick and fast, and with the big major events coming, you can change your life and change your ranking just like that.
Well, Mensur Suljovic, we know he's going to be at the European Championship. He's already earned enough money. He's been very good on the European Tour. He always has been. It's where he really announced himself in PDC darts. He started doing bits on the European Tour, and and that convinced him to play the tour full time. And look where he's become a major winner. Did you think Mensur was going to be this good when he first started playing PDC stuff?
No, I didn't, just because, I'm not going to, not say dedication, but just he used to qualify for the Worlds and the European Championships via the European Tour Order of Merit.
36,
so
Adam, you've got
when
170.
that Order of Merit was scrapped, Mensur just thought, right, I'll have a go. And, you know, you feel he waited a bit too long, really, because he's got the quality. Like I said, he's won big events, and he's just a solid player now. He's, you know, been in the Premier League for 2 years as well. So
25.
He just took the plunge, and his ability's got him there.
He couldn't take the 161, but Gawlas, the 170 was too big for him. Mensur Suljovic breaks the young Czech's throw to double his lead. And look, Gawlas did come from behind against Ross Smith, who was playing really, really well. 6-7 legs into that game, Ross Smith was averaging 105, and Gawlas managed to stick with him and turn it round at the end.
100.
But being able to do it a second time running against the world number 9, that is a very big ask for a lad who won't have played much darts full stop, let alone competitive professional darts.
Yeah, without doubt. And he won't be afforded
55.
many slips. Not saying Ross slipped up much against Gawlas yesterday, but Suljovic is an experienced player. When he gets out in front, he generally doesn't let you back in. So, and Gawlas knows
93.
These next few legs are vital just to get him a foothold in the match.
Winner of this plays James Wilson. Jamie Dodger overcame Steve Beaton in our opening game of the day. A 6-5 victory for Wilson into the final day of action on the European Tour for the first time in a long time.
I was chatting to James. I think he's addressed the situation with his eye now. It's
certainly looked better.
Yeah, but it's blatantly caused him problems. I mean, he's not performed like he can this year, but 2 wins, 2 good wins, and a confidence boost for James Wilson.
I don't think anybody will envy playing Mensur Suljovic in front of his home fans, but it is a weird thing. He's lost to James Wade at the Austrian Darts Open earlier this year, lost to Wadey here at the Multiversum in the World Series finals at the back end of last year. Kyle Anderson's beaten him here. Darren Webster has beaten him. Vincent van der Voort has beaten him in Austria.
Johnny Clayton did on his way to his title as well. So
indeed, there's always, he just doesn't seem to be able to get over the line, and sometimes you get the feeling the walk-on is much bigger. There's a lot more noise. He is well supported when he plays in places like Germany, but nowhere near like he is here. That's got to bring his own pressures, hasn't it, Webber?
Yeah, it's the expectancy, isn't it? And we've seen what an emotional character is. Mensur, we've seen him in the Championship League of Darts first hand, and the emotion was great. And you know, that emotion's going to be double in front of his home crowd. And it's hard to juggle it, hard to deal with it. And
60.
You list off those players there. He's lost some real qualities. Never really put in a poor performance, but it just hasn't quite happened for Mensur in Austria.
And it should be, you know, Mensur has won titles. Obviously the Champions League, he's won a couple of Euro tours, he's won a couple of Pro Tours.
26.
But it's not like he's got 15 titles to his name. There's only a few chances to win in Austria, so it's not a massive aberration, but I think it would mean a lot to him, and he's taken a 3-0 lead here. He's halfway to victory against Adam Gawlas, who is in danger of being railroaded here.
Yeah, it's 3-0 down. This leg's vital now, and that's a good start to the leg. Plenty of room for more, but just to get a foothold in the tie. It's a long way back, but it's only that one breaker throw so far.
99.
Well, even in a 1st-to-6 game, there is time for momentum shifts. We've seen
55.
Plenty of times players recover from 3 legs down. Vincent van der Voort earlier on today was 3 legs down and managed to come through, winning his game earlier on.
125.
The wizard Simon Whitlock winning it 6-4 rather. 98 average from Vinny. Another player who's won in Austria, won the Austrian Darts Open a few years ago, beat Mensur in that tournament, who he always seems to be there or thereabouts and playing well enough, but doesn't seem to walk away with a title. It's been since Austria 5 years ago that Vincent van der Voort won a title. But then again, Brendan Dolan has shown that 5 years is nothing to be worried about.
I think Vincent will be just happy with where he's at the minute. There was issues with his back, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Just over a couple of years ago, but he's back competing now, back in the major event, so he'll be happy the way he's playing.
58.
Like another
Adam, you require
title win,
97.
but he knows well how hard it is just to qualify for these European Tour events, so he's making an impact in most of them now.
Well, Gawlas, the 180, has left himself a 2-dart checkout. He's going to have to use all 3, but he's got plenty of time to play with here.
49.
Okay, well, chips away at it. Should get 2 darts for the leg. And just to get on the board is a big psychological thing, you would think, for the 17-year-old.
140. Adam, you require 48.
Good opportunity for Adam now. Just get that leg on the board. 16 or an 8. For tops. Good dart from Adam Gawlas, and you see what it means to him there.
Mensur to throw first.
Well, the reaction suggests he's not just here to make up the numbers. He wants to really give it a good go against Mensur here.
96.
You get the impression as well, regardless of the result, he's going to enjoy himself up there. Give the show of emotion a little smile after.
What's it like as the senior pro going up against somebody you have literally never seen before?
100.
He's obviously got some talent because he managed to get here. But perhaps in the old days, it's somebody you never saw before. You go, well, he's not going to be good enough. I'll knock stuffing out of him. But it's not like that anymore, is it? You're getting people turn up who've been playing in their garage for a couple of years or playing in some local comps you've never seen him before. And it turns out, hang on, these lads can play.
Yeah, of course. We use it all the time with there's no easy game, but that ain't anymore. You get players on an off day, but you just this guy, he's gone through rounds of qualifying to get to this event. He's beaten Ross Smith, and Ross Smith reeled off some good legs, but he dealt with the pressure, and he's enjoying it up there now, and he's opened up a little opportunity to get the breaker throw back.
And a second 180 for Adam Gawlas has effectively stolen the darts. He should leave a finish of some sort here.
60.
He does do. He would have liked it to be a little less tricky than the 161. But even at 3-1 up, Mensur Suljovic is going to start feeling a bit of pressure because this is a game he's expected to win. And if it's going to go close, then that in itself can be
60.
Quite awkward to handle.
161.
Especially when you've raced off like he did into a 3-leg lead. You know, he'd be expecting just to railroad home, but it's Adam Gawlas is sticking in there. So he does need a treble here.
41.
Slips into the one, so
147.
that 180, 6 darts thrown and only scoring 101. He's let Mensur back in the leg.
Gawlas will get a poke at that Shanghai checkout. He had a look at this earlier on and was a whisker away from the treble that would have given him a dart at double top.
Take a little bit of comfort as well. Mensur only scored 43 to leave 104. Again, failing to have a
60.
shot.
Mensur require 104.
Well, Mensur, when he's playing well, gobbles up these opportunities. Certainly was gobbling up all week at the World Match Play last year when he went to the final. Only beaten by Gary Anderson in the longest game we've ever seen at Blackpool. And you see a big exhalation there because Mensur knows he's not on top form here at all. The
56.
average is only in the high 80s.
Adam, you require 60.
And a chance for Adam Gawlas to get the breaker throw back. 2 darts at tops. Always an awkward finish, the 60 when your dart sticks there. What a last dart.
Adam Gawlas.
Like it, a finger point from Adam Gawlas. The
Sixth leg,
17-year-old is
Adam
broken. Number 7 seeds throw. I don't think he was fully aware of it. Laughs it off, and he's throwing to level the match at 3-all, having been 3-0 down to a man in the top 10 in the world rankings.
Got to credit Adam Gawlas.
36.
Easy to go 3-0 down and just fall, but he's stuck in there. And the crowd recognising the threat of the young man as the Mensur Suljovic chants begin around the arena.
96.
Joe Cullen, Luke Humphreys to follow this game. We'll have Michael Van Gerwen getting his campaign underway against Kyle Anderson. They met famously here 3 years ago. Kyle Anderson managed to beat MVG. Looked like he might go on and claim the title, but it didn't happen. Phil Taylor did. Last Euro Tour of his incredible career.
140.
And Jeffrey Desvan, who missed the double for a 9-darter last night, rounds things off against the demolition man Darren Webster. But there might be some way to go in this game as yet.
$137.
Needed that as he particularly start the leg well. Gawlas actually throwing an old-style Gary Anderson dart.
98.
He's even got the Scottish flight, son, hasn't he?
If he carries on, he might have his own personalised dart soon. That's for sure.
Well, it's not a bad way to announce yourself, is it? That's okay.
61.
He leaves a finish. He would have liked an extra 20 points, but had that gone in the one, he'd have been on a bogey number, so he might have got a little bit fortunate there.
Yeah, it's, if there's such thing as a good bounce out, that was it.
Oh, this would be special.
All
right then, Mensur.
Adam, you require 170.
And he makes a show of looking at the scoreboard. Did he know Gawlas was on a finish? Well, he's got away with it.
I'd have loved to have seen him egg him on like Dave Pallett did that time, especially in his home crowd.
81. Mensur, you require 32.
Did he put the two trebles in, turn round and ask them to make some more noise and then miss, and then set it up, didn't he? That's what he did, yes.
Set it up, yeah, slayed up the shot, and then missed.
Yeah.
And
then missed.
Mensur Suljovic doesn't, and restores that two-leg gap.
Have you, those situations, your opponent's on a finish, albeit it's the 170. You've got a bullseye finish. Do you always go for it now?
I've been talking about Recurve Shepherd. I did it to him in a game in the World Championship, and he snarled at me as if I was being disrespectful, and then hit a big 5 next throw, so it proved right. But I don't know, if you've got a bit of time on your hand, maybe it's just sometimes you can just wind your opponent up. It did with Kirk that time, but generally, yeah, the rule of thumb is there on a finish, you go for the bullseye.
But I mean, but you're in sometimes you don't. And is that a conscious? Is it just how you're feeling at the time about whether you're likely to hit it, or how confident you are on the doubles, or are you thinking this might annoy him? This could give me an edge.
99.
Yeah, a bit of both. It's one of them. It could annoy him, and if you're leading the game as well, you've got a bit of margin for error, haven't you? So that can annoy your opponent even more because obviously you're ahead. But it's just a gamble, isn't it? And then sometimes you know how it is, Dan, to just rip the 25. You can make a mess of that. You go for a 9 or a 1, you drift into a 14 or an 18. It just becomes messy. So just sensible darts laid up the shot, and it was a well-calculated gamble for Mensur in that last leg, and it's just give him a stranglehold of the tie again.
Well, it certainly is looking like Mensur Suljovic has just managed to put his foot down a little bit. It's not been anywhere near his best, but he has raised his average to the mid-90s, which is
65.
kind of what you expect as the minimum from Mensur Suljovic. And producing that sort of level was always going to be a big ask for Adam Gawlas to repeat his heroics of yesterday. But fair play to him. He's produced moments in this match where he's demonstrated he's definitely got some talent.
I think the positive thing, it looks really comfortable up there. This is, I won't say a hostile environment because the crowd haven't really got at him, but it's a massive tie for him, and the nerves haven't come through. The experience of Mensur Suljovic is showing, but I touched on the beginning of the tie. This is going to be a great experience for Adam Gawlas, regardless of what happens. He can move forward and use this to compete at the highest level again.
Well, he's been pushed to the brink here. He was 5-3 down to Ross Smith, won the last 3 legs, but winning 4 legs on the spin against Mensur Suljovic here, it might be a bridge too far.
100.
If he goes out of the tournament at this stage, the second round, he goes back with £2,000. That's not bad ranking money for your first effort on the European Tour, particularly when you've seen some players who played many European Tour events and haven't even won a game on the Euro Tour.
Yeah, and money aside, I keep talking about it. It's just invaluable experience as well, getting to play Mensur Suljovic in front of his home crowd. He'll have enjoyed himself. And he's played well. He's had a few loose darts. He's been unlucky with a few bounce outs, but Generally, he's looked cool and calm up there. Shows of emotion as well, you know.
A lot of positives.
Big things for Adam Gawlas.
Yeah, a lot of positives. And hey, it's not as if we have a plethora of darts players from the Czech Republic. Only going to the European Tour for the first time this year. The Czech Republic went to Prague. Karel Sedlacek has obviously had some success. We've seen the likes of Pavel Jurkal playing Euro Tour darts. But this is a new name and evidently a new talent.
I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of the young man.
Mensur unable to leave a finish. Gawlas knows he can see off this 2-2-7 in 2 visits. He closes that gap, but that doesn't help him.
Good recovery with the second dart.
79.
Mensur Suljovic will expect 6 darts to get rid of the 196.
Yeah, Mensur leaves himself 56 for the match if he's allowed to go at it. Gawlas, is there life left in this? Not from this visit. And Mensur has a chance to close it out.
It's been a good performance from Mensur Suljovic because he's put under a little bit of pressure, but he's responded like he does, and it's 56 now for the match.
Double top then for Mensur. And the Austrian #1 gets the job done. Not his best, but his family watching on. Mensur Suljovic books his place in the final day of the Austrian Darts Championship. Adam Gawlas has taken a lot of